Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to MTG Bulk Mythic here with some gameplay. Wizards of the Coast is hosting a bunch of historic drafts, and out of the kindness of their own hearts, they're offering a free draft for each of the formats that they're hosting. Each format will be for 5 days. So since this is my first Amonkhet Remastered draft, I'm going to go ahead and use that player token for it. And we're going to check it out and see how well I do. This is my first experience with Amonkhet Remastered. I did play, original Amonkhet block back in paper, but I'm kind of curious to see how well they put this back together as a cohesive single set draft experience. So hopefully these other seats will fill, or that are filled will become ready. Just a few more left and we'll be on our way. Now, as a premier draft, there is a time limit per pick, and that tapers down as there are fewer cards in the pack. So it does favor people who are familiar with the set, probably much more familiar with the set than I am. I'm familiar with the cards, but depending on how the set was curated, it may have... Okay, so the last person at that table decided not to play. So we'll see where this one goes. But anyway, since I'm unfamiliar with how it's curated, I may not understand some of the interactions of the specific cards and what cards may be available in later picks. So we'll see how well I do. Hopefully I pick well. It's going to be some card evaluation on the fly and maybe making some assumption about the mechanics that they are using. Now, I do have a draft helper on here. I've got some really good cards in this pack. Hour of Devastation is pretty massive. A Braid you can almost never go wrong with, right? It's the premier red removal of the set. Unquenchable Thirst is the blue removal spell, and it's the tap down River Hoopoe. It is 2 colors. It does have late game card draw, but I think we're just gonna go with the easy removal pick here right off the bat. Now, Evolving Wilds is rated as a 3 on the LSV pick order, which makes me feel like 3 and even 4 color decks are more playable the way that this card list is curated. We'll have to see as we go along. But like I said, you cannot really go wrong with a Braid. It's a modal spell. Kill spell. Gravedigger will bring some things back from the grave. 2/2 for 4, but it can bring back one of your better spells. Here we also have Thresher Lizard. It's a 3/2 for 3, but it gets pumped up if you're Hellbent or worse, or Heckbent or worse rather. It's also red, which we're already in. Zealot of the God Pharaoh. That one has an activated ability for 2 damage to an opponent or planeswalker. It's a 4/3 for 3. Not too sure how amazing that is. It seems good, but I'm going to stick with the Thresher, stay a little bit lower curve and aggressive right now. Cartouche of Zeal. When it enters the battlefield, target creature can't block and gets +1/+1 haste to a creature. Magma Spray, another very strong removal spell. And then we have Onward to Victory. This is a double creature's power. And then the aftermath is give it double strike. But we'll keep taking this good red removal here. Looking here, Exemplar Strength is a 2-mana 4/4. You put 3 -1/-1 counters on target creature you control, and then you can remove a -1/-1 counter from it. And if you do, gain life. So you can put those -1/-1 counters on it, or you can put it on another creature. If you put it on it, then you do have that ability to take them off and make it larger and gain life. So it's a 2 mana 1/1 essentially, or 2 mana 2/2 gain a life. Those who serve 2, 4, 3. I'm not trying to go with the Kaleidoscope deck here. Do I want the Prowler? Might be good with the Exemplar Strength, like drop the -1/-1 counters on it and draw a card once it becomes irrelevant. I think we'll go with that. We're going red-green here, so it's probably going to be like a monsters deck. That's very situational. It has to be against a red creature. I'm not sure if I like that, but Sifter Worm in the late game or Oasis Ritualist. I think I'll take Sifter Worm to give the deck a little bit of reach. Shed Weakness. So this can be good with the Exemplar Strength to remove a -1/-1 counter from what you have to put it on. Pathmaker's a little bit more aggressive. And then there's Crash Through, but I think I'm going to go with Shed Weakness as a trick. Looking at this, I can take the desert. Yeah, I'll take the desert. Okay, so looking through here, here's another Feral Prowler. It's pretty good. Or do I want to Crash Through? It cycles itself and gives my creatures trample. Sifter Worm already does have trample. I don't have a whole lot of other like bigger creatures. So I think I'm going to go with one Crash Through here just to see how it fits. And here's the Zealot of the Godfellow. It actually came all the way around. Or there's Hooded Brawler that you can exert. But I want to play with this Zealot because of that activated ability. I can just throw some arrows at my opponent in the late game if I'm not being able to attack through. So between the Zealot and the Sifter Worm, I kind of like what this deck can do in the late game. So now I just got to make sure, I mean, my curve is pretty low, but we'll see what this next pack brings me. I can take an Oasis Ritualist here, or Cartouche of Zeal. I like the creature can't block, and then pumping another one. It is only 1 red mana. I'll probably see a Cartouche again. We'll go ahead with the Moloch there. I do have a lot of non-creature spells already in the pump spells, some combat tricks, and don't like Haze of Pollen at all. Put in the sideboard. Combat tricks and removal spells, so having some prowess can't hurt, especially since it has first strike when attacking. Waiting for some packs to come around here. There aren't too many picks left in this pack. Matter of fact, this is the last one. Chandra's Defeat's going to go in the sideboard there. Alright, so Soulscar Mage. Wow, not really a high pick in this format, which is intriguing to say the least. But there isn't a whole lot else for me. I mean, here we have some Ornery Kudu and Sharpshooters. I guess I can go with the Sharpshooters. I am ignoring a lot of the other colors right now because I really don't feel like I can get rid of either of the other two colors I have. I don't know. If Soulscar Mage comes back around, I might consider it. It's a very aggressive creature. And even if it loses in combat, it can still wither is the old mechanic. Wither an opponent's creature. which can bode me well later in combat with another creature per se. But let's see, a lot of people taking their time, which is fine. You know, this isn't like the quick drafts where you have all day to look at your packs, but the timer is sufficient enough. It makes you make decisions, and it keeps them going around the draft section. Doesn't actually take too long at that point. So, opponent here is piling up a little bit. Toothmaker, Skull Kid. Oh, here we go. Here we got some cards. What have we? A lot of white and blue. Not a lot of red or green. You can take the wall. Or we can take the random desert. I don't know. Splashing for the Drake is great here. But there's a lot of blue and white for some reason. I'll stick with the wall. Got here's an 0-4. Might help me also just kind of get to my late game. Now here we go with some red and green cards. These look good. A Puncturing Blow. And a Kenra Scrapper. I'm going to go with the Puncturing Blow. Yeah, and one more piece of removal would be good. Because I got Magma Spray, a Braid, Puncturing Blow. I don't know what the green fight spell is in Amonkhet Remastered. So I'd be curious to see what that is. Because, I mean, you have to have a green fight or bite spell, right? At least one. Haven't seen it yet. Or if I've missed it, I've missed it. Let's see, where are we at with creatures right now? We have 9. You'll probably pick up a few more. Burning Fist Minotaur is a good one. Untap target creature or land if it gets through. Here's another desert that cycles. I think I'll go with the Minotaur. That threat of activation on that early of a creature is pretty good because it, you know, a 2/1 first strike is good enough early game, and then mid game you can have that threat of activation to make sure that it continues to be powerful. So we already have one Naga Vitalist. We have quite a bit at the top, but this cycles too. So cycling for a red means if we just get this, then we can pitch it away for another card. So I'm not too upset about having this much in the top end here. So 5 and above, in my opinion, is considered pretty expensive for limited. Luckily, a lot of them are good just to get us back in the game. Pathmaker Initiate. So with a combat trick like Shed Weakness, this can be good. Because you can make the creature unblockable if they're power 2 or less, and then pump them up after they're declared. After blockers is declared, and they can't be blocked, and then they're forced to accept the damage. Edifice of Authority. Until your next turn, target creature can't attack or block. But only if... I don't know about that. Or do I just want more creatures? There's the Kudu. There was one here, Quarry Hauler. So that's okay. That's what I'm getting. Almost ran out of time on that one. Here's some fixing and ramp. Or do I take a Hoopu? Why is the Hoopu still here? Is there nobody in blue-green? I already have one Oasis Ritualist. I don't really have any other fixing though. So, 2, 4, 6. I'm not going to see that Hoopu come back. I'll take the Ritualist there. Is that what I got? Yes, I did. Okay. So can't be blocked by creatures power 2 or less if you exert it. Or I can take the kudu. I do have some larger creatures. I have some ways of taking -1/-1 counters off. Wow, final reward. With 2 Oasis Ritualists, I almost kind of just want to take a final reward. Very interesting that that's still there. I already have one crash through. Is it worth it to have a cycling destroy an artifact? I'll cut that up. I don't need it. Bontus. No. We'll go with the thing. How many deserts do I have? 2. Yeah, it's the pick that matches the deck, but I don't know if I'm gonna have to make some cuts, obviously. There's a greater sandworm. And another abrade. I think with 2 abrades, I don't need the... Where'd it go? Dissenter's Deliverance, because the abrades can do the same thing. So 2 abrades, Magma Spray, Puncturing Blow. I think I've got enough. Archfiend Ifnir. Each creature opponent controls. That's a really good card if you're in black. I'm not in black. On top of the 2 creatures, you get +2/+2 until end of turn. That could be pretty tricky to attack in, look like a suicide attack. And then pump them in combat as well as set them up for surviving that combat. And do I have another Naga Ritualist too? Grab that guy. So I can actually start splashing better cards if I need to here in other colors, because I have several fixers. There's open fire. I have a lot of damage based removal. Not sure if I'll play all of it here. Machine battlefield, put myself on target creature, enchant creatures as lifelink. I'll take the Hooded Brawler. I don't know, do I really want to stretch into other colors? There's a Ronus Monument. Maybe cast target creature gets... I don't know if I have enough green for that. There's another Violist, a Thorn Moloch. We'll see if it makes it. It can help. Stinging Shot. Search the library for basically on the battlefield and shuffle. Or take the companion just to... Obviously I have cuts to make, right? So we'll have to see where we come through. Brute Strength is a pretty good combat trick, I think, especially with first strikers. Maybe they just made a really good list, so there aren't any of the bad cards and they all feel good, which means 1, they're closer together, and 2, there's a final reward. I have 2 final rewards, so if I need extra removal, I can splash black with my Naturalist. And Oasis Ritualists. So that's cool. If I just come up against somebody who has a lot of creatures and I just need to remove them, I can play those final rewards, or people who are dealing with graveyards and whatnot. Grab that guy. Coming down to the last few picks. I did a pretty decent job of staying in red and green, but luckily as a green player I have the ability to maybe splash a little bit, which makes my sideboard a little bit better off, especially with the forced picks that are outside of my colors. So, what else do we want? Dispossess. That's not really a limited card. Unconventional tactics. No. Well, I got it anyway. Okay. And then I think I'm going to take another kudu instead of another naturalist, because even then, like, the things like the naturalists, the mana creatures have pretty good toughness. So if I put the -1/- counters on them, they may even survive. And let's see here, unconventional tactics is coming out. That's kind of ramp. I do have a lot of green creatures though. I have 21 creatures. I can cut some creatures here. So shed weakness I want to keep. At least one of braid. So what do I take out? I guess take out the initiate. That's fine. That's good pressure early, but I'm gonna take out the wall. I don't need it. Making that a 4/3 tapped for an extra turn, but I can also possibly untap it. Open fire. I don't think I need the open fire at first. First strike while it's attacking is good. I don't know how great that's going to be. Where are we at so far now? 18 creatures, so I can take a couple other creatures out. For lands, it's 9, 16, 17, okay. Cycling. This really doesn't say how many cycling cards I have, does it? Okay, so but I do have plenty of ramp. And the Vitalist and the Ritualist and the Monument. So I have cycling. Kind of feel like I just take a land out, because those also cycle. But looking at the curve, it's not terrible. So 2 and a 6 plus, it's these two. So if we're going to take out 2, I think I take this. So yeah, Feral Prowler comes out. Take out 1 Ornery Kudu. And that'll put me at 16 creatures. And then for non-creature, non-creature spells. Puncturing Blow. I don't know. Like, shoot, I wish I had someone to ask. Maybe the Brute Strength or Shed Weakness. Probably the Brute Strength. Shed Weakness is almost the same, but that gives Trample. That removes a -1/- counter. And this is 3 power, and this is 2 power. I think take out the brute strike because I have a lot more -1/-1 counter stuff going on. This might be a little bit more relevant. All right, so that's the deck. We'll go ahead and take a break here and stay tuned for the first few games. In the meantime, make sure that you are subscribing to the channel so that you get the alerts for other videos that come up, and throw it a like if you like the gameplay. If you think I did a good job, leave some comments below if there's some picks that I probably missed. I'm not even going to doubt it. You know, let me know so I can maybe get a little bit better at this, and we'll discuss that in the comments below, and share with a friend so that they can check out all this awesome content too and continue to share our hobby together.